up, guys? This is Mark back at you. Mark's Repair. We got ourselves a Freightliner here, the Cummins. Let me 6.7 Cummins. So this one's interesting. The guy had a bunch of work on it. If you look, got a brand new fuel rail, lines, everything, which is not common. These are reusable. He was saying it was leaking like crazy, so he had someone. He told me it was a shop that did it. Did the fuel lines, rail, all this other stuff. And he ended up having an issue with the oil level rising, and it shouldn't. 6.7 Cummins are not known for that. So I'm like, oh, what did they do? He's like, oh, well, they did, after they did the injectors, this started happening. So I'm like, okay, well, if they did the injectors correctly, no issues. But the only way it could be leaking is if they didn't install the injector correctly into the bore. It will leak past the seals instead of going through the channel through the cylinder head, because there's a check valve at the back of the head to keep pressure in there, stop air bubbles. So I'm like, all right, well, let's check that. If everything checks out good there, then the only other possibility for fuel getting into oil at the level and rate that he's talking about is through the high pressure pump out the shaft seal going onto the gear train. But I've never seen that, never even heard of that. If you look on the internet, it's common. It's not common at all for these, especially in the heavy duty applications. So we're going to dig into this and go from there. So we're going to dig into this and get this valve cover off, and then find out what's going on. So also, when I first diagnosed this thing, I've already pulled the valve cover once, so I already kind of have it figured out. I added fuel dye into the fuel system and I let it run with the valve cover off. It didn't make too big of a mess, a little bit, but not too bad. It took a while, but in number 1 and number 2 fuel injector, you could start seeing a trail of luminescent, really bright luminescent in the oil. So number 1 and number 2 are definitely leaking. So we're going to pull all 6 of these injectors out, reseal them, install them correctly, and then retest. So let's do it. All right, guys, quick update. I got the intake off. Wanted to show you guys this. Look at, someone see anything wrong with that? Let me show you the gasket. Oh, someone reused the gasket but didn't even line it up, so it had a boost leak the whole time. Not the end of the world, but it does cause you to run multiple regens a lot sooner because you got a boost leak, low on boost. The calculations in the ECM, and then the soot will rise too because you're not getting full boost. So all right, let's get back at this, get this valve cover off, and then go from there. Back at you. Another part of it, I had to pause. I got all the injectors out and sealed up these lines right here at the rail. Those things were crazy tight. They don't need to be anywhere near that tight. Trippy thing is these are reman injectors. You can tell someone's gone and taken them all apart, which isn't a bad thing. They all come apart, but they didn't even clock the solenoids correctly. That one's missing completely, Jesus. But that one's clocked. You see how both the ears are in the plastic holder for the valve cover / under valve cover harness? Go back to here. It just puts massive tension. I couldn't even get it in there, so I had to go around it. There's a few. There's one in the back here. Of course there is. There's another one. There's another one. There's one. So 1 and 2, all the injectors went in the same spots that came out. I did them one at a time and torque them. That's how I like to do it. Same with like engine building. I'll stab a piston, a liner, then a piston, then I'll torque the cap, and then I'll move on. It takes longer, but it makes me sleep at night. So all right, I'm gonna get this thing running. I'm gonna recheck with the valve cover off, and then recheck, make sure we have none. I got the intake grid heater off. This looks good. Everyone that says, oh, watch out for your grid heater, yeah, you gotta watch out for them, but this has got 300,000 miles on it and it looks perfect. So all right, guys. All right, she's all finished, ready for pickup. I checked the oil level after driving around the block. It was fine. I rechecked it with the valve cover and the dye in the fuel. No further issues. I'm gonna have them drive it for a week, and then if it ends up coming back, we're fuel's rising up in it, I'm gonna go after those injectors. I don't like that they're reman, but it is what it is. So thumbs up. Thanks for stopping by.